So Russ, why don't you tell me how the company was founded and what it was like during those early years at Cobalt?
Sure. So back in those really early days, it truly was the Wild West. Those early roots of web hosting and consulting, we moved from there pretty quickly into custom web application development because our customers really wanted us to implement the types of things that we were telling them they should implement. So it took us about 5 years to fully transform from our custom web applications to a CRM software product company. And those were 5 very challenging and difficult years, but we knew that we needed to make the investment at the time so that we could get to where we wanted to be. So after 20 years, Chris, what sparked the need for a new brand?
There's a couple factors there, like anything else after 20 years with the same logo, the same brand, sometimes it's just time for a refresh. I think that while classic, some of the styling that we had used back in the late 90s was a little bit dated in terms of design, and so we really wanted something a little bit more modern, but still classic and something we could use going forward.
Sales messaging was something that also drove the need for a new brand. What were some of the key elements of our sales messaging efforts, our revised sales messaging efforts that we really started about 18 months ago?
In all honesty, the messaging was really the more important aspect for Cobalt than the design and the brand itself. It was really about framing Cobalt as a CRM company. That was really the key to this entire initiative.
The people at Cobalt are so important to what we do. We have to make sure that our staff, the staff that we have here, is happy and fully engaged. So Casey, how do we design the offices to make sure that we could appropriately engage and retain the excellent staff members that we have today?
So when we were designing it, we really wanted a space that functioned for the way that Cobalt and its employees function. So in terms of workstation areas, we broke it up by department and noise level. So our developers are generally quieter and don't like listening to other people talk, so they're kind of in the far back in a quiet little cave over there. And then our support and consulting departments are always on client calls. They're going over to someone's desk for things to do with the project, collaboration, etc. So they're in a bit of a louder area, but in a space they feel free, that they feel like they can talk freely without interrupting someone. In both of those areas, we set up standing meeting rooms so that the project teams could quickly meet on a daily basis or weekly basis. And then for our sales department, we have 2 demo rooms set up in our sales department. They can jump in there, do a demo call, and it's set up for the whole team to be able to work and provide an excellent presentation.
In terms of collaboration, and tight, communications with our customers, along with, how we've developed and designed this new office, how do you see the future of the consulting department and, utilizing those resources that we have now?
Yep. So one of the changes we've implemented in the last few years that's had a really positive impact on projects is doing what we call war room style user acceptance testing. Just really promotes good interactions with the customer, collaboration. It makes both sides of the team feel like they're really truly one team and that it's not us versus the customer. It's a true collaborative effort.
Mike, what changes are we seeing now in the CRM marketplace? And then, how is that going to impact our product development and our product roadmap?
I think in recent years, the big focus has been on integration and intelligence in CRM. So getting data out of CRM and from disparate sources and using that to get intelligence on what your customers are doing and how you're running your business. More recently, what we've been doing is we've been building a lot of these one-off integrations that are we can really quickly build and deploy, and I see that as sort of the future for our product.
Peter, you know, as Mike is alluding to here, technology never stands still. How are you going to make sure that the team stays abreast of, you know, the relevant new technologies, and then that we can implement, you know, the types of things that Mike's talking about?
Sure. I think what Mike said is actually going to help us. This is going to be easier as time moves on, and one of those reasons is because as the platform has progressed, as our product has progressed, we can handle more unique functionality that the customer needs out of the box. Our development is really focusing more on integrations, and part of that, when we're dealing with other systems, we don't control the technology. We have to keep abreast of what other people are using, what other people might use. So I think that's going to help us, since we have to work with different technologies. It's going to help us keep on top of working with those different technologies.
Brian, one of the main elements of any CRM system is customer service. As the manager of Cobalt's support department, how will Cobalt continue to deliver top-notch support in a cost-effective manner to our customers?
So we're constantly looking at the tools we're using. We're making sure we have the top-of-the-line tools. We're making sure that we provide as much information as possible to our customers through knowledge articles, through other artifacts, and then the tools that we're using to do ticket collection and other information back to the customers is allowing timely updates to them.
How does video play a role in customer service and support today, in today's marketplace?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge because it'll allow for, you know, we can give information that's visual, because most people are visual in the way they learn information. So if we can have more information that's video, small snippets that people can see how to do different parts, you can almost put together a video book of how to do different sections, and they can go right to it.
Where do you see the growth in the support team at Cobalt in the next 3 to 5 years?
The fun thing is, you know, as people learn more and more about Cobalt or products, the support department, they can grow into the department, into training, into creating artifacts like videos you mentioned. They you know, easily see us doubling in size in the next couple of years.
I think that Cobalt has always stayed up to date with what Microsoft is doing, and sometimes we're ahead of Microsoft. We're building portals, and probably one of the first companies to be building portals on top of Dynamics. Our business is aligned with Microsoft's business, and we get a lot of feedback from them, and we're able to present them with a lot of feedback. So I think it's a good relationship for us going forward, and I'm pretty excited about what they're doing with the platform and what's going on with Azure and what's going on with you know, the business applications as a whole under Microsoft, under that Dynamics umbrella. It's going to be pretty exciting going forward.